Pretty nifty. And then somebody got up and said, why don't we design this new McLaren along the optical traits of a great white shark? Everybody else got up and said, yeah, why not?
Lord, can you give me a little bit of grace? Oh, can you hear me? It's been one of those days. So I'll be waiting.
Now, unlike me in the mornings, it doesn't matter from which angle you look at this thing. It simply is beautiful. They say that 90% of this car has been renewed as opposed to the last one. And then we went and did our bit, the sum of which is simply astonishing.
Please don't delay.
Now, the first thing I want to talk about is something that this supercar has that no other supercar has. Does that make sense? Yes. Can you spot it? You don't see it? No? That's a good thing, because it's not there. And in order to know what the heck I'm talking about, we have to look inside of the car.
Now, in order to cool the 720's 4-litre V8, they needed to get air to the back, and with this car, it is something quite special. You see, the oncoming air runs over the front shoulder and gets guided along this air channel into the engine bay. The rough air that flows around the side of the car gets fed through this side intake and pushed into the engine compartment. And that is exactly the point. In pretty much every single supercar in the world, there's a massive gaping air hole right behind the doors. But with the 720, McLaren didn't. This is why it has to be one of the most beautiful cars of all time, because of its sleek and uninterrupted design.
Now, the story starts where the air hits the car. That's a line I borrowed from Robert Melville, who's the chief designer at McLaren Automotive. Now, basically, that's clever talk for saying that this car is a work of aerodynamical genius. Now, of course, it has to be said that this car is a customer's car, so it doesn't have all the bits and pieces coming from us. But let me run you through what is from us. We've got the carbon front lip, side panels, and the fins over here. It has a carbon hood. You can't see the whole thing, only this bit, but this has been painted in body color. It is all in carbon. Then the rims are from us, and look at this. I can barely fit my hand in there because of the sport suspension we fitted. This car rides a lot lower than the standard one. Then the side skirt with a big gaping hole, even bigger than the standard one, giving the engine a lot of air. Here at the top, we've got this carbon bit over here as well, looking really funky. Then this is going to be the prized possession of this car, the full width carbon active aero wing. And this wing is just superb. It fits into the contours of the car beautifully, and when you're driving, it's amazing to see not just what it really does in active aerodynamical efforts, but actually just optically. It looks so satisfying. These exhaust tips from us as well, and of course with the Stage 2, a brand new exhaust. That is a mouthful. Now, there are other body parts on this car out of carbon fiber, and they are from McLaren in-house. We make these parts as well, and you can decide whether you want them from McLaren or whether you want to take them from us and get the full-blown package that we have to offer for the 720S. What's really nice about the 720S is the fact that it has this cavity into the roof, which makes it so easy to get in and out of the car. Of course, that portion has wandered into the top of the door, which is also filled with a glass panel, so you get quite a bit of light into the compartment, and that is extremely nice. Now, the reason they were able to do this is because it has this mono cage carbon fiber cell, and that, because it's one solid piece, is so rigid that they were able to have these concaves in here, as well as have extremely thin A-pillars. And that actually aids quite a bit when you're driving and maneuvering around the track and want to see out where the next corner and apex is. Pretty nifty. Oh, there's another thing. When I close the door, I basically don't have to slam it. It'll do a soft touch close by itself. What does it feel like to drive. The moment has come where we're going to take this car out for a little spin. But before we do, let me just tell you that in the first episode we filmed with the Senna, and that was quite a bit scary because that car had more than 900 horsepower and it cost around about 1.5 million euros. That is something to be very respectful of. And then I thought, well, at least the GT is going to be a little bit less powerful, a little bit less crazy. But then it started raining and there was streams of water up to my elbows, and it was just such a crazy situation driving at 800 plus horsepower in rivers. I mean, literally, it was pouring cats and dogs. And today I am still a little bit nervous, if I'm honest, because this car has more than 800 horsepower. More than 870 Newton meters of torque. It is such a weapon and it is so capable. And I'm not quite sure that I can man everything that it has on offer. But I'm very excited to do it and I'm super grateful for this opportunity. So why don't we jump in it and see what the interior is like and then get out and take it for a spin. Now, the first thing you realize when you get into this car is that there's a sense of roominess. I'm not talking Toyota Camry roominess. I'm talking about the fact that there's just so much air coming in here. And that's thanks to this mono cage that is so strong that they were able to thin out the A-pillars, as well as giving you these concaves over here where this part of the roof wandered into the doors that now also have been fitted with glass. And then you'd be forgiven for thinking that things are a little bit bland in here, which they aren't. It's just that most of the nitty-gritties have been hidden in a really clever and inobtrusive manner so as to not distract the driver. You've got this touchscreen display with which you can change all kinds of variables of your driving experience. You've got your typical McLaren buttons with which you can decide how you're going to rip up the road in front of you. And then over here, you've got your rotating display that in normal mode will give you all kinds of information about which way you're turning. And then in race mode, will give you only the bare necessities so you can really just focus on what you want to do here, and that is drive. That is what this car is about, and I think it's pretty cool. I also love this two-tone effect that they've put in here, you know, try to duplicate the accent of orange from the exterior to the interior, and it looks really good, just very, very minimalistic but nice. And then there's blend of Alcantara and leather, and of course carbon around here on these bits. And they've chosen the right bits for the right areas, I have to say. Certain things belong in Alcantara and certain things belong in carbon. Having a total carbon interior is going to be squeaky and uncomfortable, I can tell you that. But not in this car. This is a good dose of the right stuff. There is one thing though. What is this? This can't be normal. I hope it's not normal. This doesn't want to open, but that's because the doors are up. So I'm going to close this door, and if it then automatically opens because the door's down, then that's going to be a very clever thing. How cool is that? Okay, that is special. You see, they have these door pockets so that you can put your goodies in there. And then when you open the door this way, it stays closed so nothing falls out. Your Ray-Bans don't end up on the sidewalk. And now, it won't open. That, McLaren, that is special. That is really special. Here we go. McLaren says that the sound of an exhaust is a little bit like the voice of a person. It carries part of their character and personality. Could definitely agree with that one. I remember coming down this little strip with the 458, and by that time I was smashing it already. But the thing is, it didn't have two turbos. Holy moly! Stack of nuts. Wow. Okay, this is quick in an entirely different galaxy. Wow! Okay, we are talking about an entirely different game of balls here. Holy cannelloni! That is crazy! Whoa! My goodness! Whoa! Whoa! Yoi! Okay. Wow. So, let me just dig very deep into my looking composed suitcase, because this is... How do you actually put this into words? Impressive. A very sophisticated and highly evolved level of impressive. It's just... Whoa! Whoa! Yo, my goodness! What? That is incredible! Oh my word! Wow, where the 458 was making me laugh and smile, this is making me scream. But it's not a... Well, it's a little bit of a frightening scream. Okay, yeah, it is. Oh my goodness! Whoa, this is quick! This is so incredibly quick! Oh my goodness! I can tell you, switching off traction control in this car, you gotta know your guns, baby. You gotta know your guns. Aerodynamic is what we'll say down here. Oh. These turbos are so busy, baby. There's a hint of unforgiveness in there, I have to admit. That traction control is staying about as on can be, I can promise you. McLaren said that the dyno tuning that they do for this car is meant to actually break the engine. It's designed to break the engine. They say that on their Nürburgring simulator, they can chase this car around the ring for 48 hours without a single stop. They also said that that's not a very nice test. And that's exactly the point. Those are the kind of people you want to build your car. People that want to do nice things to it. And they did. Very nice. This car, of course, has ceramic brakes. Praise the Lord. Oh my word! Oh my goodness! This is like catapulting. This is not acceleration. This is catapulting. Wow! I don't know if there's a gear in which this thing will not erase the back tires. Oh, that rear active wing. The way this car attacks a corner and then just deals with the fight right in the middle. It's a knockout every single time. Sebastian Formella, I am twinking at you, brother. It almost feels like the nose picks up and the heavy acceleration. Yo, this is hyper speeds! This engine, this 4-liter twin turbo V8. Oh my goodness, it is a gem of an engine. But then of course, this is not the standard one. It doesn't have nearby 720 horsepower. No, no, no. Way north of that. I say that all the time. North. Way north. 806 horsepower. 878 Newton meters of torque. That's more than 100 up from the standard one. I am losing my voice. This is mental. Now, this car has brake steer, which means it brakes the inside wheel in a turn to give you a better turning angle. And then it has a computer-controlled suspension that supersedes that of the P1. The steering feedback on this car is supposed to be so direct, giving so much feedback to the driver. And it is nearby telepathic. This is a different kind of quick aim. Wow. Just let the windows down here for a minute. Listen to that. Are you even serious? Novitec, you have made an absolute jewel out of this. Oh my word. That is beyond impressive. Seriously, beyond impressive.
Lord, can you give me a little bit of grace? Oh, can you hear me? It's been one of those days. So I'll be waiting down by the riverbanks. You know I'll be praying, so please don't delay. Please don't delay. Lord, can you give me a little bit of faith? I wanna believe and I don't wanna break. A moment of relief would go a long way. You know I'll be praying, so please don't delay. Please don't delay.
Woo, what an absolutely insane day. And why wouldn't it be if you get to drive cars like this? I was very intimidated by the power of this car. I was very intimidated because of, as I told you before, the experience I had driving the other two McLarens. But this car was surprisingly gentle to me, I think. In its brutality, the acceleration, the power surge, just how it comes in. That is mind-blowing. But yet, even being a little bit intimidated, it was a great feeling. And not at a single point did I feel, oh my goodness, I hope my testament is in order. So, a huge round of applause for McLaren for making this fantastic car, and a huge round of applause for Novitec for making it even more special. Speaking of which, pretty soon we're going to be getting our very own 765 LT, which is the follow-up of this version. It's going to be our own car, and we're going to be giving it the full carbon package, and of course, upping the power quite a bit. That is the car that we're going to use to try out the VDC, that variable drift control, because today we didn't do too much of that, since this is not one of our cars. We hope you enjoyed this film, and if you did, feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that little bell so you get reminded every time we upload a film. We're looking forward to see you next time. Take care. This is a really special moment. I'm just trying to get this to show you how interesting this is. Oh, come on. That was not part of what I wanted to do. Thank you. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see this? Is it focusing on there? That is a ladybird in pretty much dark gray and orange. And it's just sitting on this McLaren because it probably thinks it's its mother.